It is important to know your own past, because your past is you, right? It's just kind of an obvious concept, isn't it? It's you, just in a different point in time. So this is kind of important. But what everybody seems to be missing out is what the past really is. Because what you think of the past is some type of an image created by your thoughts you currently have in your head, and you believe at some point in time it was true. Those memories of past are just as true as the thoughts you might have about the future. You know very well that thoughts about the future are merely guesses, are a fantasy. Why do you think that the thoughts about the past are not a fantasy as well? Can you find direct evidences of the past happening? You can find indirect evidences. We are clever creatures. We have logic. We understand a lot of the things. And we can conclude based on evidences, so-called evidences, that certain things happened. And this mechanism helped us survive, helped us evolve, helped us create the society we currently live in. Very useful thing. This thing we call the memory. But whatever the memory really is, and even if it's really useful, this is not like a camera. It's not like something storing past and freezing in our mind. Our memory is the image of what happened generated in the brain and absolutely bombarded with all the thoughts that we had about this event every single time we've been recalling the past. Every single time you recall the past, every single time you add a lie just because you're recalling it, just because you're looking at it again. Only because of that. So, the way that I like to think about the past is think about yourself as a continuous creature. If you would be able to live in the fourth dimension, how would you be able to view yourself? Have you ever thought about it? If the fourth dimension is a space-time continuum, you will see yourself not as a person stuck in time, but because you would be a fourth-dimensional creature, you will be able to see above time. So you will see yourself in all extent. You will see yourself as a creature made out of today, yesterday, all tomorrows to come. It's kind of bizarre. Like, think about it as making a picture of yourself, like 360 picture, and then put one picture right after another and call it you. This beast with impossible amount of arms and legs, incredibly long. If you'd be able to stack all those pictures right after another, this is what you would be. This is you. Because you are you, not only right now, you are you a year from now and a year ago as well. But here comes the very interesting part. Here comes the actual reason why I'm recording this podcast at all. This episode, I'm sorry. How far back you think you were? When you were born? In the womb of your mom? If you would say that you began when you were born, then how to draw the line? Exactly. You got spawned into existence the very moment that the doctor could see a little head in your mom's vagina. Oh, we got a human being. It wasn't there before. Magically it's there. No. Of course not. then maybe you will say, and that's popular opinion, especially in the Christian communities, that you get spawned into being the very moment that part of your dad and part of your mom connected together in your mom's insides. Okay? How did it happen so magically, though? You gotta admit that you are your parents. You get made out of your parents, so you are your parents, and you know where this all leading to, right? You are your parents, and their parents, and their parents, up to the first human beings, up to the first apes, up to the first animals, up to the first organisms, all the way back to Big Bang. That's what you are. Continuously. There is no line to be drawn. And after you die, from your ashes, the trees will grow, the birds will grow, the aliens will grow. It's all one massive being, and no line can be drawn. Instead, except only for a line in your head. But really, we're all just one big lump of stuff. Of stuff. We are stuff. That is your real past. Your past is what you've grown out of. But what you've grown out of, you're still attached to. In fact, you're more than attached to. You are those things. Because you can't see yourself outside time. You are stuck in time. That's your prison. You can only live right now. That is a limitation. You can't live tomorrow. But it doesn't mean that tomorrow doesn't exist. It will come, even if your eyes won't be there, and even if your mind won't be there to witness it, the sun will rise. And if sun won't rise, there'll be tomorrow anyway, because time will pass. Time will pass. And there is no line that can be drawn where you can extract one being out of another. It's just one big, breathing lump of stuff. We are all this. Our past is part of what we are, inaccessible to us, mind, to the mind, because mind is so limited. The future is part of us, it's there, but it is inaccessible to our minds. And we are all this. Most likely coming back to nothingness again, and this nothingness will get so dense that it will explode again, and it will keep on expanding and accelerating, and new planets will appear out of that. But we are all this. It's not you being born in London or wherever the fuck you've been born. It is you. You, the very Big Bang, a walking fucking legend. Trees and roads, people and animals, and birds and weather, and Mars and stars and nothing. The miracle of life is the miracle of perspective. We have different perspectives. It's so amazing. There is no way you can look with somebody else's eyes, despite the fact that you are somebody else and somebody else is you. How the fuck does that even work? Man, that's mind-blowing. Genuinely, it's mind-blowing. So don't ask me how it works. But what I do know, bro, there's hardly a distinction between you and me. We are just lump of stuff.